Well, hello, beautiful people. How we doing today? Oh my God, it is a special day today. I am so excited. We've got a really special guest. I know I've been telling you guys about this, and I'm really excited now. She's finally here, and you guys are in for a real treat. Just a little bit about her. Her name is Najma. I think I mentioned that before. She is originally from Saudi Arabia, and she's also half Indian. And one of the things that she's first of all, she's the founder of Bliss RTT, um, healing. And one of the things that she has is a degree in psychology, and she grew up, as you could tell, I mean, being from Saudi Arabia, in a very male dominant masculine world. So really tapping into that type of energy and really understanding spiritual awakenings is really where her specialty lies. And she also does like hypnotherapy. She does some all personal coaching, and she's an energy healer. And she has both really good understanding and recognition of both the masculine and the feminine. And I felt like this is kind of like a good time to bring that in, because I know, the feedback that I've been getting is that, I bring a lot of masculine energy, even though I can tap into my feminine. But it's good to kind of break it up and just kind of give that male female dynamic. So I'm really excited to bring her on. She's here all the way from Idaho, and we're just excited to have her on. So without further ado, Najma, you there?
Yes, hi.
Hey. Well, thank you for coming on to my channel. And I know this is something that I wanted to do for a very long time. It's something that's a little bit different from what I'm used to doing. But, I've known you now for 4 years, and just seeing your own spiritual growth and knowing that we've always connected on a spiritual level. And you're just made for this. So every time you tell your story and how you look at life, I'm always fascinated, and I feel like the world needs to hear it too. So I'm bringing you on, and just excited to have you on. So Najwa, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we can go right into getting into some questions, because this is going to be a great topic to talk about. So go ahead.
Um, Hello, everybody. My name is Najma, and I do RTT therapy and coaching. I'm an energy healer. Sorry, I'm an energy healer, hypnotherapist, and also experienced about energy, masculine and feminine, because I was in dominant culture of a lot of masculinity, but then was like I was a wounded feminine. But then when I moved and traveled, I start balancing both energies and experience what does that energy give me, and how can I balance both feminine and masculine, and why it's important for each individual, no matter what gender is, to really balance both energies. And then we have a lot of understanding about those energies. That's why I was happy to join you, Eric.
Yes, no, and just for you, for so some of you guys that don't know, Najma actually speaks four languages. I am blown away by the fact that I can barely even speak English, and she's speaking four. So understand that she is very well educated, and just, I mean, I'm in awe to have her on here, to be honest. So, yeah, and getting back to what we're talking about here, the masculine and the feminine. So, yeah, the first question that I wanted to ask you, Najma, okay, is and I'm going to put these down here so you can kind of just have them there. Let's talk about the balancing, right? Well, first of all, what is masculine and feminine for our audience that doesn't know, and how is it that you balance that out? Because there's a lot of stereotypes and a lot of misconceptions of this. And even for myself, I had to kind of learn that it's okay to step into a feminine. You don't it doesn't define you based on your gender. You can tap into both. So definitely, if you could kind of explain that a little bit more to the audience, I think that'd be great.
Um, yes. So, what is feminine and then what is masculine, and why we need both, no matter what gender is, we need to tap on our feminine and our masculine. So, the masculine energy usually is the thing that we do, and the practical, the logic. the protection that we give, the thing that like a giving, protection, working, going to work, instructor. Those are the things that is goes with the masculine. Feminine is not just dressing or just dishwashing or things like that. No, feminine is more feeling. Feminine is more intuition. Feminine is more empathy, communication, those things that they roll by the moon cycle, but then also we tap it when we are in our femininity, like receiving. And if you are, for example, a feminine that's not really her in her femininity, then you're gonna receive, even if the masculine is healthy, you're gonna still receive his things with not right way, with the wounded way, because you are a wounded feminine and you are not healthy feminine. So we have, no matter what gender we are in, we have to tap on those both energy, which is the conscious is more for the masculine and the subconscious is more for the feminine. So some people say the moon and the sun. So moon is more feminine, intuition, feeling, and I'm a Cancer, so I go there. And then some people are masculine, which is they're doing, going, and protecting and really doing things and structure. And how to balance between feminine and masculine. Usually, balance is we have to balance our energy by tap on both. So we have to experience both. We have to put ourselves in situation of giving and situation of receiving. So we have to balance ourselves by instructor and then also by emotional and sympathy and thinking and stuff like that. So those are the way that we balance those energy. There is a lot of practices that we can do to balance. It's the spiritual practices. This energy is a spiritual thing, Eric, and you know that. And some people
Yeah.
don't believe in it, but it's actually what attracts person to person is the energy, the aura. So what we say it's aura. Aura is the charisma, the personality. So that's what the aura is. So aura is something around us. It's the charisma, that the sense that when you see somebody first and you see their aura first, and you either like their aura or dislike their aura, just because it
Sure.
matches or not matches.
Watching.
And if your aura is healthy and you are balanced between the feminine and the masculine, you feel all those chakras are balanced. That I'm talking about that spiritual body, not the physical body. Then you are really aligned with what you are in. And the way that we can balance those energies, there's so many practices that we can do to balance those energy. Tapping in your intuition, you balancing your feminine. Sympathy, you really strengthen your feminine. Empathy, listening is really is you are tapping in your feminine. Receiving a beautiful word, when somebody tells you a word and you say, hey, thank you, like somebody asked you did something to you and they said thank you, and you are received that thanks by welcoming them. That's actually a feminine, and you are receiving. So receiving doesn't have to be physical. Sometimes receiving feeling and emotions, receiving a beautiful word, that's all feminine.
Okay.
Masculine is more giving. Masculine is more instructor. Masculine is more protecting, like who you love, or protecting yourself. Setting boundary, because if women not setting boundaries, then they don't tap in their masculinity. Some women don't put a boundary, then it's not, their masculine is not balanced. So it's out of
Mm.
balance. And when we
Mm.
are out of balance, we really attract out of balance partners. But when we
Individual. Yeah.
are balanced and our energy and everything is balanced, we know our boundary, we know everything, we really attract. That's why we have to balance ourselves internally before externally. balance those energies within us.
Okay. Wow, this is all really fascinating stuff. And you guys, if you're watching this video, definitely, comment down below some topics, because I mean there's a lot of information here, and I know some of you guys might be hearing a lot of these things for the first time, and we want to make sure that you're understanding of the terms, and understand that we are both coming from a spiritual place. I mean, this isn't necessarily one religion or anything of that nature. This is just more the balance of nature and life, and understanding spirituality and connecting and oneness, and really everything that my channel represents, and what Najma represents. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring her on, to really kind of mesh out and have both coming together, in but from a different viewpoint. And like I said, because she is so tapped in, as you can see, spiritually, it really is, can make a difference. And for me, even just to kind of really tap into both the masculine side and the feminine side. And that's what Najma does such a great job of explaining, is how to do both, whether you are a female or a male. It does not matter. So one of the things I noticed that you mentioned, and this is something that we wanted to get into, because a lot of people, I also talk about relationships. And I think there's a variety of some that are actually still single, and then there's some that are in relationships. But you mentioned that there's out of balance when it comes to feminine and masculine, and not knowing when to tap in and when not to. So what are some healing works that we can do, before we start dating, or if we're currently in a relationship? Can you just kind of give us some examples on that?
Yes. So before dating, healing is very important. First of all, we heal our past relationships. So some people have that pattern of attract the same kind of partner all the time. Like a woman that she is tapping
Mhm.
extremely in her feminine, she will attract the person that she is the opposite. And that's what the twin flame comes, the concept of
Twins.
twin flame or soulmate comes. So when you need extreme healing, you find your twin flame that really challenges you, because the twin flame usually is the opposite of you extremely. So if a lady is in her feminine, extreme feminine, she will always try to find that very masculine, wounded masculine guy that is not tapping in his feminine. So he is not healthy for her at all, because they are
Mhm.
so opposite. So he do things that she cannot do. So she needs him, and then he needs her. So there is a manipulation comes through those relationships, because it's not balanced. It's the out of balance. Or a man that he is always in his femininity, so he always attract the female that she is in her masculine, and because she is in her masculine, she always dominates him, or she always put him down, or she always doesn't really care about his feeling, because he is extreme in his feminine. But when we date, it's a very interesting spiritual thing. We try to find people that they are opposite, what we need, the thing that's not in us, within us internally. We try to always attract that thing. But when we are whole and we are tapped in our masculine and our feminine as we need, and we have that rhythm of harmonious, and we have that alchemy within us, so we really attract the bright people for us, because we already healed. We already have
Mhm.
both energies within us. So we don't need somebody to complete us. We are whole. So if you are whole, or if I'm a whole, or somebody is whole, they're gonna attract the healthy people that they are, and they are like a take them to growth. But then if they are not healed, they start not attracting the right people. Let me tell you some way to heal, healing work before dating. Yes. So healing work before dating is very important. There's so many ways to heal. There's a lot of practices. One of the important practices I want to talk about is mindfulness, is be present. Really not try to find external validation. Try to really validate yourself and work on your growth and work on yourself. Never try to find people but because we lack that feeling, but we really attract. We don't lack, we really like bring to us what we really want, not what we really need. If that
Mhm.
makes sense, Eric. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Oh
Okay.
yeah, no, it does. Yeah.
Okay. So another practice is yoga. It's great. Any spiritual practice, actually. If somebody is, for example, go to the church or whatever, singing, chanting, those practices, like a healing practices. The thing that is not just like even workout is really great for aligning the body with the spirit. So working out, going to the gym, yoga, dancing, chanting, praying. Inner work is very important. If you are single or if you are with a partner, inner work is reflection to yourself. So correction, when you tap in your past relationship and when you work on it, you won't attract it in your next relationship. You won't do the same pattern. You will stop the pattern here because you are healed. And that's what we
Yes.
should do before any relationship. I see some people jump from relationship to relationship, and they are like having that the next partner ready, but that will never give us space for us to heal. I'm not saying that's
Mhm.
a bad thing, but I'm saying that will never give us space to know ourselves, to know self-awareness, to sit with ourselves, to know what we want, where we
Yeah.
are, yeah, what we feeling, how we felt in that relationship. Mirror work
Yes.
is very, very crucial for healing after wounded relationship.
Okay. So really it is coming down to you want to be able to balance out both and be
Yes.
and like you said, tap into and I think when we're referring to tap in is just you want to be open to it. You want to connect with it and not be afraid of it, because there are so many stereotypes. And I think one of the good things in this world and society is that it feels like we're not just kind of saying, oh, okay, because men have to be a certain way and then women have to be a certain way. The gender roles are changing is a good thing, and there is more balance. But again, like you're being able to be more balanced so that you're not leaning only towards one side where you kind of lose yourself. This is where
Yes.
you are building awareness and connecting with yourself in a balanced way. And so that was a great explanation. I think there's a lot of great information
I
within
want to
that.
mention one thing, Eric, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
sure, go ahead. Uh-huh.
I'll give you an example about imbalance in chakras. So if
Mm,
a lady, she is open, very open to date whoever, and she just keep dating back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. She just having that lack of confidence on herself. So she's like a scared of abandonment or being alone, and so she will just date whoever she wants. That means that she has imbalance in one of her chakra, especially the solar plexus chakra. So when we do our inner work, we really have to write what we really missing and what we really want for now, what we really need. If we need confidence, if we need, for example, empowerment, if we need what we love or what we need, then we will know what chakra is should be, it's out of balance and should be balanced. And we start doing those practices for those specific chakras so that chakra can be balanced again, and that thing that we needed externally, we won't need it externally anymore. So we have it within us, because everything we have it within us. We just need to tap on it and
yeah.
bring it out.
Okay. I think, and also, this might be, and you guys, again, comment down below if you want to learn more and understand more about chakras. I mean, even that was very fascinating to me, and I think she'd be the perfect person to kind of really explain that more in detail. We want to keep it on the topic today of masculine and feminine, but, that can always be another topic if that's something you guys want to talk about also, too. So now that, let's say, okay, the work is done, right? We're now tapping more into both sides. We're having this more of a spiritual awakening. Um, when we're looking for our partners, and a person to want to be with, or somebody that we want to spend the rest of our life with. Do we want to focus just on the spiritual? I mean, there is a physical aspect. I mean, how important is that? Do we want to have a balance for both of those, or is it more just we want to tap into the spiritual only? Can
We
you
of
kind of
course,
explain that? Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
we of course want to have balance for both. But then
Mm,
if we are already aligned with ourselves, the lower chakra, sorry, I bring up chakras again because it's very important though. The lower
sure.
chakra is about the physical, the material life. So if you're working on your inner work, this is you already balanced. So you already
Mm,
balanced because no one will work on their inner work and they're still not in that growth journey. So you will be already in that growth journey, and you will be already, by doing this work, you will already be in a place, a great place for you to start date. So when you look, you really even not looking, you will attract the right, like a
yes.
right person for you immediately. It will be attract. Sometimes it takes time, it takes patience, but that means that you still have some work to do. But then you
Mm,
attract the right people for you, sometimes even organically without you even looking. When people that they are aligned with you, they have the same value, the same core belief, and the same people, they're gonna automatically be attracted to your aura, to your spiritual, because you are balanced. When we balance, the lower thing is the materialistic, and then the upper is the thinking, the belief, the mind. So you are already balanced, feminine. The lower is the masculine, and then the upper is the feminine. So it's, you are already balanced, and you're going to attract the right partner for you. And some people
mm,
sometimes do the work, sometimes do like have that procrastination, and that's okay. But in that level of procrastination, it will be a little bit hard for you to find the aligned partner, because you're gonna attract the people that they are matching your energy at that time. You know what I mean,
right.
right? So you have
Hmm.
to be aligned before you start, because you are whole inside of you, within you, and you have. And then we also need to do self-care, and I always hear that self-care is just for female, and that's not absolutely true.
No.
Men needs to do self-care, because this is one of the healing. You are healing your inner child by doing self-care of you right now. Self-care can be different from person to person. Sometimes just go for a walk, or pedicure or manicure or whatever. They also self-care that I think men should even do. Because I had a friend that told me 2 days ago, women becoming more attracted to women, and because men are not doing great job when they date. And I don't think that's absolutely true. I don't
Mm,
think that's true. I think that men needs to do self-care more and take
yeah.
care of themselves so they can attract, by they can tap on their feminine, on their feeling, on their emotions, sympathy, and that's what woman wants. So when a woman dates a woman, usually that's what they want. They wanted that
Yeah.
feminine type, and that
Right.
feminine
Right.
can be with the men too, but men needs to tap on it.
Right. That's why I mean, that's part of why I'm doing this channel, to kind of show that, hey, it's okay, man. We can do this also, and we can continue to do a better job, and it's all balance. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, we need to get away from the stereotypes that have been around for so long, and men have to be a certain way. There really isn't a defining, and even by being that way doesn't define your what you prefer, and what you prefer. I mean, it's up to you, but at the same time, it doesn't have to mean anything. It just means that you're being more of a balanced human being, in general, and you're being able to flow accordingly and attract the things that you want to attract into your life. One of the
Right,
things I
and
wanted to
find your
talk
true
about,
self. Find your
yes,
true self before
yeah,
dating is very important, because if we find our true self and who we are, we know who, we our value. So we know our boundary. We know where we stand. We know a lot of things that is very important to start to establish in ourself and within our, like, even boundary. I don't mean boundary with somebody, with ourself, how we
hmm,
eat, what we do, and how we really work on ourselves spiritually, because spiritual is a journey. So
Yes.
it's a responsibility journey, that discipline takes you to that discipline where you want to be, and then you attract that, right, there when you are on the top of the funnel.
When you're aligned with everything, yes. Okay, and then one other thing I just wanted you to bring up. I mean, because there's something that just came to mind. I was like, hey, let me just ask you this question. Because I've talked about this a little bit on the channel before too, but there is a thing called self-sabotage, right? And can you kind of explain a little bit why that occurs and how that intertwines with with the spiritual and the masculine, and why there's a process of, like, self-worth, a lack of self-worth that occurs, and people end up self-sabotaging themselves when it comes to being in relationships, or maybe they've attracted the right person, but then they self-sabotage the situation. Does that make
Uh,
sense?
yeah, of course. Some people have that self-sabotage. They think they're not worthy, not enough,
Mm, okay.
and those feelings that they come not worthy, not enough, from imbalance on them. So they
Balance.
are
Mhm.
feeling that they want to attract that person is like, for example, that a person that is very handsome or whatever is very attractive to me, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not worthy, I can't, so I'm
Mhm.
scared to go in, or I'm scared to put myself out there because I don't feel worthy, or I don't feel I'm enough, or I can provide, or I can do, or I don't think I'm. Some people are very think that they are not enough to have children, or to be parents, or to take care of other human, or some people that think that they are not successful enough, or not great enough, or not healed enough to date. And those are absolutely not true, because those are actually in a solar plexus chakra too. So if the solar plexus chakra is aligned, or balanced, or hormoned, or healed, that means we will not have that self worth issue, or self sabotage issue. We can absolutely address that with a lot of, again, affirmation, with a lot of healing work. And it's very, very important, because if we have that self worth as a female or as a male, we know where is our standards are, and what we stand for, and what we really looking for, and that's just, I think, does that answer your question?
It does. It does. And it kind of ties into the next question too. Because we also find that there are people who have an easier time, or let's just say they're more adapt to wanting to stay in long-term relationships. And then there's some people that, kind of hop from relationship to relationship, can't really find that steady balance of feeling like they can be with somebody forever. I know I kind of struggle with that at times also too. And just to kind of understand, where is that coming from, and what are some things that you could do to heal from all of that, to kind of make it balanced? Or does it even make sense to even want to feel like you have to be with somebody forever? I mean, I know, for some, like, they have a value system that makes sense, that they're like, yes, I want to be with that person, I want to be with them forever. And then there's some that are just like, hey, let's try this out, see if it works. Well, and we'll grow together, but if we grow apart, it's good. I don't have to make this a forever thing. So I think just kind of explaining that and understanding that, with the as you're trying to find your spiritual awakening, like could you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, I think if two individuals are different from each other, and they living together, but they have connection, spiritual connection, that's really great, and that they can live with them forever. Some people don't have that spiritual connection, but they still live with their partner, but they're not happy, they very miserable, they very are in their, like, anger, or in those, feeling of not happiness, and they are just suffering, and then they think life is just all about suffering, and that's not true,
Hmm.
but they are not healed.
Right.
But then there are two people that they are very aligned, and they do inner work together, or they do mindfulness together, or they pray together, or they do tantra together. Like, there is some tantra, there is some yantra, there's some things that they they partner can do it together, so it connect their spiritual realm together, and that what makes the relationship really successful. So if I feel that if we are aligned spiritually, then doesn't matter in the material, because material world will align automatically with that spiritual. But some people, when they are cannot find their partners, as you just mentioned, Eric, and I think from my opinion, or from my the way that I see it is, and they either need periods of being alone to feel the whole within them, um, or there is another thing, it's just patience. They need some patience until they can attract the right partner for them.
Person. Hmm.
Yeah, the right
Okay.
person for them.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the main thing is, and even for myself, like I find that I just have to be kind to myself. Understand that as I continue to level up, the people around me will change, and who I attract will change with that. So it really is just prioritizing you first, like you said, continue the healing process, continue to work on yourself, and then things will kind of connect and align naturally in its time.
Yes,
And not to create those limiting beliefs about aging and any of those things, because I mean we're literally in a world where it's like, I mean, so much can occur and life can be so much different. And I truly believe that we're in a time where we might not even experience aging like our parents have, and that's very
that's
much thinking
true. And
outside the box. Yeah.
yeah, and wisdom is give you a lot of experience sometimes, and some people have that wisdom and they don't have age, they're young but they have the wisdom. That wisdom align them with older people all the time. It's just because the mindset is the same or aligned. And some people are the opposite. They are just old and they are immature, or they don't have that experience in life, which is okay. And they always try to find people that they are young so they can match the mindset, match together. And again,
Yes.
I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's just everybody's preference and what they want. And I feel that important thing that we should do is understand ourselves first better before we
Mhm.
try to invite other individual to live with us or to be one with us, so we can invite the right soulmate or the right person for us.
Yes, yeah, totally agree with you on that one, for sure. And this leads to my last question, right? Because I mean, as you guys know, for me, like I'm from here. I'm American, right? I was born and raised in America. Najma is from Saudi Arabia. So there's a lot of cultural differences, and but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. But does that play a factor when you're trying to find your partner? Our partners in different cultures, can that work? Does it work? Kind of explain, because you're coming from a totally different culture than what I was brought up into, and now you're kind of blending the two, and just what you've learned from those experiences, personally.
I think if the partner is willing to unlearn what they learned and really be tap on their wisdom again, and tap on their in your spiritual life or in your wisdom, there is nothing called anything age gap, or there is no culture gap. There is nothing like that. So
Mm,
if you are tapped with somebody in their aura, or you guys have the same aura or the same spiritual mindset, that will absolutely work great. But if you guys have different mindset, different identity, which is sometimes people stuck on their culture and their identity and where they are from, without um, trying to learn something new, and just sitting on their limiting belief, or just thinking about their self just small or limiting, or just in that culture, based of one culture, based where are they from, and then it will be challenging. Of course it will be hard. And I think that I always mention shadow work and inner work, because they are very important. They are the work that shows your value, who you are, where you want to be, and where you're going to be. So if one of the partner do that work and evolve, and the other don't do that work and don't evolve, then there is a gap. For example, I give you a small example. It's a weird one, but it just came in my head now. A lady that she does self-care and she does self-work and she knows confident and she's tapping on her solar plexus, on all her chakras, and she's very confident. And a guy that doesn't do that work and doesn't really believe in spiritual work, and he's like a kind of hesitant or shy to approach or talk. If they go together to for example, a party or a conference or whatever, she's very confident. She's gonna speak with everybody. She's gonna talk to everybody. So she's gonna attract the people that they matching her energy, because she has
Mm-hmm.
a big, huge aura, big energy that she's very confident. So she's gonna attract. But him, he won't attract. He will attract the people that they like him, a little bit shy or a little bit. So it's that you see the gap. Then she's gonna start feeling that there is a gap between both of them because they not aligned. He's attracting different people and she's attracting them. That's why they start cheating, because we are attracting different partners that they are really aligned with our energy, or aligned with our spiritual work that we do. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Interesting. Yeah, because you could kind of see how everything is kind of linked together because, as human beings, I mean, we're always growing. And that's one of the things that is always going to be a challenge when you bring the opposite sex into, or just another person into, your personal space. As you continue to grow, that person is also going to grow, but there's also going to be those times when people grow apart or they create more synergy and grow together. But that really just depends on your balance and where you guys are aligned spiritually, which it sounds like, is something that is a priority to make sure that you do have, and that there's this wholeness that occurs. Because one of the things that was told to me was really like, you've got, I used to think there was like, you have a part of you and then there's the other part that the other person brings, and then you come together and everything becomes whole. But from my understanding is now that's not the case. You want to be whole, and then the other person needs to be whole, and then you guys come together because with you both have wholeness, and so you're not looking for your other partner to bring something, and you guys are just bringing everything together because you
Yes.
accept them for who they are, as opposed to, well, I need you because you're going to help me do this, as opposed to, no, we can do this together because we're both doing it at the same time.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Dasha. This has been very enlightening. You are so amazing. I think that you bring a lot to this. Yes, I definitely think you should, start your own channel, and hopefully this will kind of get things going for you as you continue along. And yeah, I'd love to have you back. I think that, hopefully the feedback that we get from this video today, people will really embrace this like I have and say, yeah, let's keep talking about different things. And, you guys make sure that you comment and like down below to let us know, give us feedback on what you guys think. Is there certain things that you would want us to talk about? Because this channel is for you guys. So, this is how the channel is going to continue to grow. And I thank you guys all for your support. And we can do this at any given time. I think next time maybe we might just even go live, so then that way we can get some like actual comments going. But we need to figure out what time that would work, and I'm sure we'll make it work next time and stuff like that too. But
Definitely.
yeah, any last words you want to say before I let you go, Najma?
Thank you for having me. And it was the honor and pleasure to talk about um, facts that I think spreading spiritual knowledge is a great way to start the foundation for any work, especially, yeah, especially for the growth, for the personal growth. Yep. That's it.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Najma. And is there any social media links, anything you want to plug so that people can find you if they wanted to reach you directly? Anything you want to?
I mostly do my work internationally.
Okay.
So I will next time. Indeed, I will find you a
You have
link
all the
and just give it to you.
Sure. I mean, why not? It's free promotion. So we'll definitely do that for you.
I
All right. Well,
appreciate
thank you
it.
so
Thank
much,
you.
Naza. Take care. Okay. And yeah, you guys, let's just go ahead and end this video. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. We're gonna have a lot more stuff like this. Like I said, I do want to do some lives. And let me know if you guys do like the interview process, because I think that it's a great thing. And bring on, more guests. If you want, not, Najma back, let us know. And until next time, you guys, just make it a great day. Take care.